and good morning. Uh, this is episode 2 of our Elden Ring playthrough. I imagine there's going to be quite a few episodes as we go through the game. Um, Notably, I should say, this is kind of a sneak stream, another sneak stream. I don't know that these are going to be especially scheduled or even uniform episode lengths, but if I'm going to sit down to play the game, I'm going to try to stream it, mainly so I can get the playthrough on YouTube. This will not be a comprehensive playthrough in any stretch of the imagination either. I'm going to just try to get through the game. This is for a number of reasons. I want a playthrough of the game with my thoughts on YouTube, and I also want to get to a point where I have a character who isn't in New Game Plus ready for the DLC, should that ever occur. So, that's where we stand currently. These crabs have been ripped almost wholesale from Dark Souls 3. Like, I believe the model is roughly the same. Oh! Ow. Let me go. Oh, I didn't get heal from the mines. Alright. And that dragon's wandering around. So, really what we should probably be doing is booking it out of here. I have a couple of things I want to get before we try to take on the dragon. But I think the dragon will be our next target because I want those souls. Alright, so we're running out of here with 5k runes, which is not bad. Certainly an interesting... interesting. Oxidine, come on. Certainly a good way to start things. But that kind of is emblematic of some expectations that you have to kind of adjust when you're playing Elden Ring, because in like Dark Souls 1 through 3, you kill a boss like that, even if it's easy, even if it's not necessarily the hardest boss under the sun, and you're still... give me that stab. Alright. I want him to drop his stuff. You're still pulling enough souls for a few levels this early in the game. Bosses are a big deal this early in the game in other Souls games. Here, you're kind of expected to blow through a lot of them early on, and so they don't give you the kind of rewards that you're looking for. And because they don't give you the kind of rewards you're looking for, then when you get things like ashes that you can't use yet or don't want to use, the rewards start to feel a little underwhelming for a lot of people, me included. If there is one problem I have with Elden Ring, is the sense of progression is very slow, and because it is so slow, it sort of stymies that idea that, okay, well, I'm having a hard time here, I can just go elsewhere, right? I can go to fight a different boss. I would be very surprised to know for a new player to have actually made Margit their first boss kill. Just a totally new player, especially if they're new to the Souls series. I would be extremely surprised to see someone just make Margit their first... Oh, hey, buddy. Probably shouldn't be doing this with one potion. But... oh, there it is. You fucked up my horse. Oh, you hit something. Oh. this isn't. Yep. I got too eager. Ugh. Remember how I said we had 5,000 runes? Not the case now. I apologize for the nasally presentation this morning. It is early where I am, and also just kind of nasally these days. I've been stuffy for like a month. Getting a bunch of Twitch notifications. I can't right now, I'm streaming. Alright, well, let's go try to get our shit back, I guess. That was 5k runes, nothing to sneeze at. The point I was trying to make was that, you know, that troll dropped, like, what, 1,600 runes? A lot of that was from us kind of crawling through the dungeon there to get our smithing stones for a +3 weapon. I don't want to +3 the broadsword, because the broadsword can't do thrust damage. Or if it can, it doesn't have easy access to it. And the weapon art is not bad, but it's also not as strong. Well, it does have access to thrust damage through the weapon art, but... Oh. Holy shit, what a drop. Oh, come on. Please don't lose this. Ow! Alright, buddy, come on. Oh. Another paradigm for Elden Ring that did not exist in Dark Souls 3 was the oh, he's just kind of hanging out by the... Are you asleep, man? Alright. Wake up. Another pair... Holy shit! Oh! We're getting way too cocky. And 5,000 runes gone. Oh boy, welcome to Soulsborne games. Ugh. I don't know why I did that. I should have just barreled on and grabbed my runes. Oh well. Happens to the best of us. Might have to do some off-camera grinding, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that guy to show up. Like, there kept being more people there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, okay, so it's another paradigm shift is in the use of weapon ashes, what would have been weapon arts in previous Souls, or in Dark Souls 3 really. It was the only game that had them. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die again. Basic enemies. Come on. Oh, played it close there. Alright. Our man's is asleep. I didn't actually grab those runes. In Dark Souls 3, weapon arts were kind of a... For many weapons, I should say, they were kind of an afterthought. Extra functions maybe, but not a lot of not a lot, not the most practical applications. Or at least I didn't find them to be especially practical. Some of them are very good, of course. The Dragon Slayer Great Axe is basically a better strong attack for that weapon, which is awesome. But in terms of... Well, I guess I don't have to go back over to the giant now, do we? Pardon me. It's just one of those things that in terms of the actual weapon arts for many of these weapons in Dark Souls 3, like the one we're using now with the forward stab and the forward swipe, they weren't especially strong. They didn't do much more damage than a basic R1 spam combo could have provided. But with the stagger system, kind of pulled a little bit more wholesale from... Goats. The stagger system pulled a little bit more wholesale from Sekiro added, and the immense amount of stagger damage that a lot of these weapon arts do, plus the boosted damage that they do in general, they become a lot more crucial to your playstyle in Elden Ring. Even this basic weapon art here, that gives me access on a broadsword to a thrust attack, something that can swipe enemies out of the air, something that can break enemy guards really well compared to basic R1 spam. I am here for a reason. Do not judge me. Excuse me, Mr. Giants. Excuse me, Mr. Giant. Come this way, please. That's what I wanted. All right. And now we're getting out of here because we're not fighting those dudes. We are not fighting those multiple giants. Not without a much better set of weapons than we currently have. Alright, so now we're on Stormhill. Elden Ring does a lot to sort of mix up its environments by way of atmospheric and environmental, like, weather changes, right? This is still a broad, kind of muted grassland, typical of Limgrave, but... Oh shit. Oh shit. We're leaving. Hup. You need to go find a grace or something. There it is. Oh, hey, it's the War Master Shack. Cool. Alright. I think I have... Yeah, I have a bunch of golden rings. $5K runes, man. That sucks to have started that off with. Well, I started off commenting on them, so that's what I get. Alright. 5K exactly. Which is neat. Should be able to grab a couple levels off this. Let's start... Yeah, 3. Alright. Let's start getting that vigor up. Let's go try to take that camp, because I think there's something in it. And there's always a chance that that knight will drop his greatsword. Hi, buddy. Stop throwing firebombs at me, please. Where's the doggy? Did you hear that stagger? Yeah, that doesn't normally happen in other Souls games where enemies get staggered just from basic attacks. Normally you have to break their stamina while they're guarding or get a parry. But with the jump attacks and the Ashes of War, that becomes less of an issue. Can I get your attention without your dogs? Ooh. Ooh, good. Oh, here they come. Over this way, pal. Come on. I need you to come this way, please. I don't want to fight those dogs. Oh! Ah, here they come. Lame it out like it's cross-decking. Oh! Well, they didn't drop anything. Runes collected. And camp cleared. Alright. Well, not cleared exactly yet, apparently. Still got two more fellas, and maybe a dog on the other end of that fence. But a chest here. The heater shield, nice. Glad to see we're back to the standard backstab animations. I've been playing a lot of Souls games recently. I played quite a bit of Dark Souls 2. I've played quite a bit of Dark Souls 3. The difference in the Dark Souls 2 backstab compared to the rest of the series is immense. Alright. Oh! And follow it up. Hear that? That's an alarm. If you trip over that while the camp is nearby, all of them jump you. Still not. Buddy. You watched me murder all your compatriots. Jesus H. Oh, there's another alarm. Do you see it? All right. So above us, there's a guy that's sort of vaguely pointing this way. If I go up to him, I could probably get him to lead me directly to the next area, but this is what we want. Might as well rest. How would I need for another level? No, not yet. Okay. On the way out then. The undead in Elden Ring are an interesting implication for the lore. They sit outside the Golden Order because those who live in death do not return to the Erd Tree when their souls or remembrances, or however you want to describe it, do not return to the Erd Tree when when killed. Now, it's interesting that these people are kind of reviled, as we'll see later in the game, because it doesn't... Not returning to the Erd Tree doesn't appear to have much in the way of, like, a choice involved, right? Hang on. Interesting you can proc that off of projectiles. I didn't realize that. Oh. Mechanically, undead are interesting because you have to hit them once while they're down. Here, that's not a challenge because you're not really fighting many at once, and you can just take the time to add that little extra hit in. In groups, this becomes a problem. In boss fights, where there's multiple adds chasing you down, it can become a real and present issue. Hey, some arrows. We got to get a bow, don't we? Bows will be absolutely crucial for further dungeons in this game, or some manner of consistent tag damage, we'll call it. You need to be able to... Oh, yeah, see? There we go. Ah, shit. You need to have access to consistent tag damage of some kind so that you can pull enemies from mobs. Because without those, and that's what we're here for, that right there. Without that, you end up, especially in some of these dungeons, getting sort of swarmed by enemies that are not fun to fight in groups. Those fucking imps will ruin your day. Alright. This dungeon introduces you early on to a lot of concepts you'll be dealing with when fighting the undead in general, such as groups of them popping up at once, groups of them popping up after you've kind of thought you've cleared an area, maybe. Alright. So we're definitely going to hit the switch and run. Because there's at least 2 corpses that are going to pop back up after we hit that switch. Alright. So we're going to hit the switch and we're going to... Well, first thing we're going to do... There we go. Interesting that the Confessor, who ostensibly is some kind of holy knight, shield, decent armor, broadsword, etc., gets the Assassin's Approach spell. Is it of much use? Not really. But you don't typically associate the stealth class with a broadsword, is what I'm kind of getting at. I should not be taking this fight. Specifically in play... Oh! Got lucky there. It's just interesting that the Confessor is painted as this kind of shadowy Inquisitor versus the standard kind of Paladin archetype we tend to associate with Holy Knights. But yeah, as will become obvious when we get into this next boss fight, which we're going to go ahead and take, just for the sake of time, and because I think I can do it. Another thing to be noted about this playthrough, because it will come up very shortly, I am not the kind of person who avoids using Spirit Ashes. I have soloed this game on a private playthrough. I know I'm good enough to do it. I'm not here to prove anything. We're going to use Spirit Ashes when necessary and available. As has been made obvious... This is not the boss I thought it was. We could be in trouble. As has probably been made obvious by the gameplay so far, I am not an expert at Elden Ring, and I don't think you're here for the super skilled gameplay. I think you're here for the scintillating conversation. Get mobbed. Never actually used Spirit Ashes on this fight before? Holy shit. This poor assassin. Oh! She gets staggered by so much. Oh, that was brutal. All right, 16k, 1.6k souls there. Not bad. Runes. And Deathroot. Deathroot is interesting. Here. These are the roots of the Erd Tree. And we see here examples, if you can look at these bodies kind of bound up in the roots. We see examples of Erd Tree burial. This supposedly is the preferable method of disposing of bodies and returning the souls or remembrances or life essences to the Erd Tree, which itself seems to embody and enforce, I shouldn't say enforce, but implement the Golden Order. There's the Elden Ring and the Erd Tree. The Elden Ring seems to be the sort of instructional set, or rather set of instructions for the world, and the Erd Tree seems to be the vector through which they are implemented. Strength to 16. Alright, cool. That doesn't leave us a lot of runes, which means we need to... I think there's a thing here I can mob down real quick. Grab some runes for bumping up my weapon. Whatever weapon I want that to be. Something's chasing me. What is it? Oh, it stopped. Okay. Here we are. Hey, biggin. Murdered. I'd like to grab a grace out in this area that's not in the Deathroot catacombs. So yeah, your body gets tied up in the roots of the Erd Tree, which returns you to the Erd Tree itself, this kind of path or vector for life in and out of the Golden Order. And those who live in death don't get to go to the Erd Tree. Now, it's not, at least in my knowledge, and again, my knowledge is very thin. I'm going to tell you now, my knowledge is extremely thin when it comes to the lore in Dark Souls. I'm sorry, Elden Ring here. So I could get something wrong. Please feel free to tell me in the comments if you spot something that is egregious. But it doesn't make it quite clear how those who live in death, who are undead, which has a different connotation. Oh, hey.
Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck.
Okay.
Hello? Hello? Oh. What are you playing at?
What?
There's no time. Oh, I am Alexander, also known as Thieves. My thanks. Just give me a good smack and I'll pop. Don't dally. Give it your all, I say.
Okay. Sorry, I should have let the voice acting rock there.
Come on, I'll pop clean out.
I hope this works. There we go. His word is gonna hurt him.
Oh, that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me. Well, I thank you. And once again, pleasure is mine. I am the warrior Jar known as Alexander. Iron Fist Alexander, in fact. I journey to the east, where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. And upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter? I'm heading eastward to Redmane Castle. I've heard there's...
Got it. All right. The hell was I saying before? Okay, yeah. One, Alexander. So much to talk about. Get to Alexander in a second. Those who live in death. It's not clear how they get there. We know that it has something to do with Godwin. We know that many of them revere Godwin because he is someone who his body is alive, but his soul was obliterated. And really, it is the fact that his body bloated and transforming into something strange and almost fish-like, entwined in the roots of the Erd Tree, that it could be causing some of the corruption that we see in areas across the lands between. It could be responsible for a lot of the transformation of those who live in death. There's tons of stuff to dig into here. However, the core conceit that those who live in death are heretical to the Golden Order remains. So, all right, we are pressing on. Let's go ahead and rest here. Short of a level. And we should be short of a level. We're not... We've got to upgrade a weapon to really continue making the progress we want to make. Oh shit. This could go badly. Oh, yep, yep, yep. Ah! Well, brought that on myself. Let the guy blow his horn. An item there. But we know through Thea that those who live in death, and yes, I'm still harping on this topic. We know through Thea that those who live in death don't necessarily do so unwillingly. Or if they do so unwillingly, they still don't want to be reviled or necessarily killed. So there's an interesting discussion to be had there, I think, of the way the way this all plays out. I can't believe I never grabbed this. Alright, I got my souls back. But now I want that asshole's head. Oh. Wait a tick. I want to just have some spirit help. No, you don't. Get got. There's a non-zero chance that one of these guys drops their weapon. Ow. Get stabbed. Oh, he does a lot of damage. There's the shield. That's a great shield. Oh. Good doggies. Need those for fire pots. It's not the knight's great shield, it's the wooden great shield, but still. And then Iron Pot Alexander. For all the complaints that I have about Elden Ring's progression and some of the murkiness of its lore and some of the stuff that I feel sort of borders on incoherence in some places, Iron Pot Alexander is emblematic of a thing that I love about Elden Ring's storytelling, which is there is this sense of whimsy to it, right? There is this sense of fantastical, I'll say it again, whimsy to some of the storytelling, some of the aesthetics, some of the things that you can find that really sells how weird this place is. And because it's weird, because it's got that touch of whimsy and charm, when things go south, when things get bad, when things break a little bit, that hurts. And it hurts in a way, I think. Hang on. No, you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and upgrade the broadsword. I think that's perfectly usable for what we're doing, especially with the weapon art. So. All right.
Wait, well, you're back.
Holy water pot. I want those, and I want that last crack pot. And a bunch of throwing knives. All right. So we have our +3 broadsword. We're gonna move on to back to go take the dragon out. Only thing I think we're missing is some manner of resin for our weapon, and I'm not going to worry too much about that. In a perfect world, I would have bumped up the Uchigatana, I think. But I don't really have the dex for that yet, and I don't want to mess with it. So, also, I haven't really used the broadsword in a build before. Why not? I can get the thrust damage if I need it off that weapon art. Yeah, like there's these horrific things about the setting. There's these bat people. There's these, you know, the crucified people on the sort of Elden Ring, or the religious symbol here. There's all kinds of like horrific shit going on there. But then you have walking living pots, and the walking living pots are very kind and cute a lot of times when they're talking to you, or kind of meandering and ambling, even when they're hostile. But then you find out that the pots are filled with people meat. And that's why they're living, right? There's all this kind of... there's always a touch of dread on top of the whimsy. And I think that is crucial to Elden Ring's... what works about Elden Ring's tone. Ah. Up. We should try to stick to torrent. Never forget that you can jump in this game. There's a lot of stuff you can like bowl over. Run! Nope, fucked it up. I should not have been hanging out when he did that. It's okay. Try again. I don't know how that didn't hit me. Ow! Fucked up my horse. Well, can't get to the other side of him quick enough. Run! Oh, shit. I thought that was the flame attack. There's an interesting thing this dragon fight does. That if I survive it, I will tell you. Oh! Boom. All right. Stop hitting my horse. Let's get out of here. Okay. So yeah, that fight, that dragon fight is really interesting, and one of the reasons it's really interesting, in my opinion, is that it does a thing that Skyrim tried to do. It lets you fight as a smaller creature with typically a melee weapon of some kind. It lets you fight a bigger creature in a way that feels sensible and interesting. But it's also not just an HP sponge. The fact that you take pretty significant portions of its health off, in particular if you're good at fighting it and good at targeting the head and not getting swarmed by dogs. Over the wall. If you're good at targeting it and good at targeting the head, that fight doesn't last long. Right? If you know what you're doing and your stats are good and your build is good and all that, that fight does not last long. Hang on, let me get my shield out. All right. Big shaggy dog down. Yeah, the dragon fight doesn't last long if you're good at what you're doing. It doesn't turn it into a slow, lumbering war of attrition. It's know what you're doing. You're in constant danger of being killed, but you're not doing no damage. The dragon is not visibly, but the dragon dies in a manner that is like the fight is satisfying. It doesn't feel slow and like you're doing nothing right up until the dragon is dead. Staggering the dragon, then getting a bunch of damage in on its head, even if you can't get to the weak point because you're me and you don't position yourself correctly. There's just tons and tons of these little touches to Souls combat that make it the more interesting approach. That it's difficult and it's deadly, but it's deadly for everybody involved, right? It's not deadly for just you. It's not, okay, you could take 2 hits and you're dead, but you gotta wail on this guy for 10 fucking minutes with your basic attacks. It's just a really preferable way of doing things, in my opinion. Alright. So the dragon's dead. Got a little potion back. I think this is the teleporting chest. It is. Roll away from it. We're not going to Kayla this early in the playthrough, sorry. Not this soul level. Alright. Okay, so we don't really need to go there yet. What we do need to do now, with souls in hand, is get to a grace. Which we needed. I think there's a grace on the far shore here. We need to get to a grace, spend our runes. And then we're going to start making our way south to the Weeping Peninsula. You know, those bats are chasing me now. It's alright. Wish I could remember where the grace is. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Yura?
Ah, beautiful work. Felling that dragon. And as such, there's something you might like to know. The heart you brought back. It's used in dragon communion. If you should find yourself overcome by hunger for the heart, yearning for its strength, then seek the decrepit church on the little island off the western coast.
I've never gotten that dialogue before.
You must not forget, though, those who partake in dragon communion will one day shed their humanity, their hunger for dragon, their yearning only worsens until the floodgates burst, unleashing eternal torment, the strength of a mighty dragon. Magnificent, but deadly. It's no surprise that dragon communion is ruinous. You must not forget those who part their hunger until the floodgates.
Good voice work.
It's no surprise.
And an interesting bit of lore that I did not know about. Really. I believe the island off the western coast he's referring to is... Is it that one over there? Yep, it is. Alright. Rest of the set of grace here. Now we have room for another couple levels. The temptation to start pumping my decks to get to that Uchigatana is immense, but no. We're going to get our health stat. What is that? Vigor. We're going to get our vigor to 20. And then we'll start pumping other things. Faith should start coming up as well so I can get access to some miracles. Little goblin dudes. Horseback combat is kind of broken for smaller enemies. I certainly understand why they would disable it for certain areas. I'm gonna tell you now, I think it's silly that you can't use your horse in the Elden Beast fight at the end of the game. Alright. Let's begin pushing to the south for the Weeping Peninsula. We are missing a few dungeons here in Limgrave that we should definitely grab when we get the chance. However, well, okay, so before we do that, let's get on the road. Interesting fight going on here. Not my chair, not my problem. Let's get on the road here. And let's head... Oh, hello. Has the procession come to town? Let's get on the road here and head to... Church America. We want our wondrous flask. Oh. I'm gonna fuck around and find out, aren't I? Poor timing. This is... Ah. Fine, I'll get back on my horse. Come here, you bastard. Shut the fuck up. Rune fragment, rower fruit. Boy howdy, if one of them dropped the noble sword, I would be so mad. Having spent my smithing stones on something else. Gotta be careful around here. One of these guys inexplicably transforms into a bear when you kill him. Oh, there's a procession. Oh, get off the... Those guys are harmless. These guys aren't. Let's see if we can... Ow, 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 ow. I joke, but I really would like that weapon. Alright. One more horsey escort. Hey, the helm. Yeah, I can't open this well. It's moving. Gotta tag one of these guys and make him stop. Great X. I don't like killing horses. Alright, yep. Along this road, off to the west, I'm sorry, east, is where we're headed. I should probably get off the road because there's a bunch of horsemen here, and I don't have any potions left. So this is heading toward the woods area. We want to make a break straight east. For that map marker. We're going to grab the map marker and we're going to book it out of here. All right, cool. Hit the road and turn north. Butt stomp. Run. Yep, here they come. Look off, Kenneth. We're about to wind down for this stream. There may be another one recorded later today. Not fucking with you either, Giant. Third Church America. The statue again. We saw America prior to the prior to arriving in the lands between. These buildings are destroyed and obviously very old, so I have to wonder how long the shattering has been going on by the time we arrive here in Limgrave. Okay. Touch grace. Let's close out the stream with some words from Melina.
Spoken echoes linger here, words of Queen Marika, who vanished long ago. If you wish, I will share them with you. Very well. In Marika's own words, my lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace. With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar, where ye will live and die. Well, perhaps that might serve you in lieu of a maiden's guidance.
All right. We can increase the power of our Crimson Flasks.
Shall I to let my hand share them with me?
And I think that's where we're going to stop today, ladies and gents. Deities and disappointments. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate the early morning attendance. I look forward to continuing this playthrough and sharing it with you on YouTube. I will see you when I see you.